really cool. And the people who run the boats there and the stuff you get to do is really, really a lot of fun.
I would wager that my jacket cost less than a week in the Hamptons at whatever house you stayed at. I'm guessing.
I'll take that. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. The jacket, John DeLorean's jacket.
Yeah. What I paid.
Okay, then what I paid.
Yeah. Oh, you probably. You got friends. Yeah, you paid nothing.
Yeah.
They roll out the red carpet for Battleborn.
Justin Watkins is in from Battleborn Injury Lawyers. Judge Dan is here from the Fan in Denver. Alex and Cofield. All right, dealer's choice. I have a whole thing ready to go with class action lawsuits, but we can start with college football if you want.
Let's start with college football.
Okay. First of all, I know you noticed this a while ago, this whole NIL thing, and there are lots of players that we don't talk about. And one of the really interesting players is Learfield.
Mm-hmm.
Want to tell people what Learfield is and kind of how they're involved?
Yeah, I mean, so Learfield's got obviously media contracts to broadcast and present games and teams to the public, and they have their own NIL contracts that are out there, and they have produced NIL deals with some of the players, and the player and the schools have said that's not part of the $20.5 million that each school has. That's not part of the revenue share, because under the definition of the settlement, an affiliated entity gets counted towards the 20.5. So like, you can't have this super booster who doesn't have a legitimate business practice, who's just given money without any real expectation of return, to which Judge Dan's looking at me right now going, that's every NIL contract. I know. But any affiliated entity with the university that does an NIL deal counts towards the revenue share maximum. And the plaintiffs go back into the case and say, we want you to declare as a matter of law that this settlement, the House settlement, does not define Learfield and those media type entities as affiliated entities, so they will not, as a matter of law, count towards the 20.5 million. Okay, the universities, the NCAA opposes that.
Quick question on that.
Yes,
who is the UNLV broadcast partner?
Yeah,
who is it?
Learfield.
Oh, they're partners.
Yeah,
but they're not affiliated.
They're broadcast.
Oh, okay.
They're broadcast partners.
Yeah,
broadcast partners.
Correct.
Okay, that doesn't mean university partners, does it? I don't know. Here's what the case said, and I actually think this is a misstep by the plaintiffs in bringing this action. I mean, who am I to say Kessler doesn't know what he's doing? I mean, the guy does all this stuff, right? And he does it very well. But the question that was being asked of the judge, and it was the magistrate judge, it wasn't Wilkins herself, is an impossible question to answer in the affirmative, which is to say, you will state as a matter of law that a media company such as Learfield,
media partner,
can never be counted as an affiliated entity. Can never. And the answer is, well, I don't know all the potential situations in which that partnership may exist and their affiliation with an entity. I'm not going to say as a matter of law, it can never happen. So no, your motion's denied. I can't say it'll never happen. To which NCAA goes, ha, see, told you. You guys got to count all those towards the revenue share cap of 20.5. And to which Learfield says, that's not what that says. We don't think that we count towards the 20.5. And if there's any ambiguity, every school that has more than $20.5 million to give out is going to say, that's not what that says. We're not counting this towards the 20.5. We're going to move on. NCAA, you try to bring this action and you try to prove that they're an affiliated entity. So what do we get? We got a whole bunch of action. NCAA takes a victory lap. Yeah, we finally won. They didn't win anything. Nothing's changed. Everybody's moving forward. The question that was asked was impossible to answer in the affirmative, and we have no further direction than we had before.
Now, the other question I have, because I'm a Hurricanes fan, I don't think either one of these suits have been resolved. They're being sued by other schools.
Yes.
They're being sued by Wisconsin for poaching a player, and they're being sued by Duke because that Mensah, their new quarterback, was under contract for 2 years, and he bolted. But nobody wants to sue the player because they fear it will have a chilling effect on recruiting, right?
Right.
So they're suing. Duke is suing Miami, saying tortious interference or something of that ilk.
That one's been resolved.
Oh, has it?
I understand.
Okay. I didn't know
one's
that.
been resolved. Yes.
Yeah. So is that the new route? Like schools just suing each other?
That's why none of this is ever going to work, is because the schools won't agree to follow the same set of rules. Like everybody goes and says congressional action is the answer, and I say great. Let's say everybody can agree upon what the congressional action is. The congressional action doesn't have penalties. The congressional action doesn't have the enforcement arm. So once everybody inevitably breaks the rules that are now set in Congress, and then the NCAA inevitably sets different penalties for the same offense across different schools, they will be sued and they will lose because there is no collective bargaining in which the labor force had a say. That is a fact. That is what will happen, but it doesn't matter because this isn't passing. Everybody keeps talking about
it. Exactly.
Not in its, not in its current form.
For the audience, I've been, obviously I followed because you're great on it, and I'm like really into this, and I want the feds to keep their nose out of college football. It doesn't need to be protected or saved. But over the last 2 weeks, it's gone from it looked like a super long shot, according to some people, to now recently, did the Big Ten and SEC change something? And now people are hopeful. And by the way, the clock is ticking. So those guys on Capitol Hill generally can't get anything passed. And I don't think most people in college football are really happy with what is out there right now. So how the hell is this going to pass?
I mean, so yes, they made some changes that have allegedly got the Big Ten and the SEC on board, right? And you have them and the NCAA actually publicly coming out and saying to the members in the Senate, you need to vote to support this. I don't know if you saw the retweet I went the other day that was like, wait a minute. We have university presidents, we have NCAA itself and member institutions demanding swift, prompt action to save college sports on this massive overhaul for the entire system before the language has even been released. Like the members haven't even got a chance to review the new language yet. And these schools, and the retweet I did was like, it was so great, that have these disciplinary panels and everything must be mulled over. And before somebody can get tenure, they have to go through this large analysis, and they would never, ever be pressured in to taking any university-wide action without having the opportunity to vet a document and the person. And they're demanding that the whole system be overhauled before anybody gets a chance to read it.
That's Justin Watkins. Call from anywhere in the state of Nevada for Battleborn Injury Lawyer, 766-1400, 775-766-1400 in Reno. Judge Dan continues. Alex White. We roll on Cofield and Company.
High internet costs? Cell phone bill going up? Streaming services you forgot you had? What if someone fixed that for you? Radiant Star Checking at Westar Credit Union includes bill negotiation experts who can lower your monthly bills and cancel subscriptions you don't need. That alone could cover the $7 monthly benefits fee. Visit westar.org/RadiantStar to learn more. Radiant Star Checking has a $7 monthly benefits fee. Activation required. Terms and conditions apply. Share savings with the minimum balance and membership eligibility is required to become a member. Insured by NCUA.
Over 40 years ago, I started the Richard Harris Law Firm right here in Nevada. And today we've grown to be the largest personal injury firm in the state. We got there by doing one thing. If there's a win, we're right in the middle of it. The Richard Harris Law Firm. 444-4444.
Hi, sports fans. It's The Herd. We're here to talk about game changers. Just like in sports, business has all its MVPs, and Ford Country in the Valley Auto Mall is leading the pack. At Ford Country, you'll get VIP experience with the best service in town and exceptional savings on your favorite Fords like the F-150, Explorer, and the Bronco. Visit Ford Country at the Valley Auto Mall or online at FordCountryHenderson.com. Ford Country, where the difference is real.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55 plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
You're pregnant. And no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope. And there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
Celebrating the Okinawan heritage at Zippy's with the Shoyu pork plate. Hearty cuts of pork are slowly simmered in a soy sauce mixture until soft, tender, and flavorful, and served with rice and macaroni salad. Available daily at the takeout counter, online, or on the Zippy's app, and at the dine-in restaurant. Zippy's, celebrating 60 years of serving Hawaii comfort foods. 4 locations to serve you. Arroyo Crossing, Southeastern in Henderson, West Charleston Boulevard in Summerlin, and now on Camino al Norte.
One moment can turn life upside down. Your comeback starts with the right team by your side. At DeCastro Verde Law, we've spent decades helping injured Nevadans take back their lives. We never back down. We never give up. We're the DeCastro Verde Brothers, and we have your back. Together, we win.
BrothersWin.com.
At DeCastro Verde Law, the brothers have your back. BrothersWin.com.
By July of 2025, nearly all Nevada employers will be required to offer a retirement plan to all employees. As a business, how do you even start? Just call the Vegas Chamber to get plugged into the Chamber's 401k plan. It's simple to administer, provides great options, and will quickly help your business meet Nevada's new retirement plan mandate. Visit vegaschamber.com to get plugged in.
Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hut, hike! The NFL is back, as it's the Hall of Fame game from Canton, Ohio, as the Arizona Cardinals take on the Carolina Panthers. Pre-game coverage begins at 5 p.m. Thursday on Fox Sports Las Vegas. Also on Comp HD Channel 2. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, full house here in the 4 o'clock hour. ESPN Reno, you heard it. ESPN Las Vegas. Judge Dan from Denver, Dustin Watkins, back from his swanky vacation, Alex White, Cofield. Maybe we could do this for an hour every time you come in, the college eligibility thing and the Protect Sports Act. I got to throw this one at you because I don't know what the answer is. So we've had these 5-5 cases start to get judgment all around the country. And one of the latest ones, I can't remember if it was California or Colorado, everyone got all fired up because let's use that as an example. Donovan Dent, who was at New Mexico, then UCLA, actually retired from playing basketball. And then he's like, no, I'm coming back. Now I want to play a 5th year. Then I saw a follow-up where the judge was like, yeah, my ruling doesn't supersede transfer rules. So people got all fired up. But my understanding is if you weren't already in the transfer portal, like you remember, you and I talked about this a lot, that there were 5th-year guys who didn't have a 5th year cleared way back at the beginning of the year who were going into the portal and like, dude, you're done. There's no time left. And people were mocking on them. I think that's the only way that you can now transfer. Am I wrong? Because I just saw the reason I'm bringing it up is Gonzaga lost their French-Spanish guard because the pro team was like, we're taking him back. All right, enough with your money. And that was their point guard. And the portal period's done. And now this thing seems to be a savior for Gonzaga. They just landed a kid who scored 16 points a game at Dayton. Now, I don't know if he's a super senior. No, he was recently granted through the Ohio ruling. It says 5th year of eligibility. So you can transfer?
So here's my take. The Colorado rule said the 2022 class, like they get 5 for 5 like everybody else. Like we're not going to just say that 5 goes for everybody except the current super seniors. Like they got their eligibility. That's easy. It's silly that you would even make a rule otherwise. So they're all there. But he says the opinion doesn't address transfer rules. Right. Well, it wasn't asked, right? My opinion is transfer rules are completely ineffective. All they got to do is file a lawsuit. Like there's nothing to stop. There's nothing to stop one kid from not, removing his enrollment at one school and going to another school and enrolling. All right. And then the school's going to be like, cool, we got a spot for you. File a lawsuit to the local judge. Ask that, the transfer portal was never collectively bargained. It's anti-competition. It absolutely is anti-competition. There's no doubt about it. And the NCAA will not win that. So they might as well right now grant waivers for all of them because you created a rule that was not enforceable. The courts have ruled against you. So what? Now you're going to fight that they didn't get in the transfer portal in time for a rule that you said they weren't allowed to even be transferring in the first place? Like, grant the waiver. You will lose this argument. There will be a lawsuit. Like, NCAA goes like, what, 0 for 95 now? I mean, like, it would be silly if they don't just grant the waiver, give a one-time portal window for all the super seniors who are now eligible that wouldn't have been eligible before the Colorado ruling. Alternatively, that they may, in that Colorado action, because it's on appeal, actually submit that question just to that judge to get the order all throughout and all in the same action.
I don't know what point the NCAA has anymore in promulgating rules at all, ever anymore, right? Like, so they started, what was it, back in the 30s? Whatever school was hiring ringers and like, well, we got to make sure this is a college experience and we don't have ringers and pros.
You know what it was? The Supreme Court talked about this in Austin. It was Yale versus Harvard rowing. Mm-hmm. That's what started all of the ringers and the payments and the transfers.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So they had a good run, the NCAA, right? For 80 years or whatever it's been. The courts have decided differently now. They've said that that's not what this is anymore. So what is the NCAA protecting at this point? Nothing. If the schools want to be the Wild West, and then they can compete against each other. What I don't understand what the NCAA is doing. Like, what do they care?
Right. They're just trying to self-preservation at this point. The NCAA only exists to the extent the NCAA wants to exist, right? And the illusion that the have-nots think that the NCAA was ever there to protect them in the first place, right? Because the haves don't care anymore.
Right.
And there's some new haves that are running some kids up against the wall and making them look silly, lockering them. There's the Texas Techs, there's the BYUs who are now like, yeah, all right, capitalism, baby, let's go. Mm-hmm. This is an industry and we're taking over. So they love it. And then some of the traditional haves that don't look good in the new era need the NCAA to have some power. But the only power the NCAA actually has is pro-competitive rules. Why? Because the rules that are pro-competitive are not going to be overturned by a court under antitrust. So what kind of rules are pro-competitive? Well, they're basically the rules that are good for everybody. The rules that are good for the players, the rules that are good for the coaches, and the rules that are good for the universities and everybody else alike. But the minute you make a rule that is harmful to one of those groups, generally speaking, it's going to be considered anti-competitive and it's going to be overruled. So yes, there is no point. There is no point other than the illusion that there are some rules, but there really aren't.
Right. And so they could do administrative stuff or things like that to still exist, I guess. I think if the NCAA wants to exist, maybe their best move is to go, all right, okay, go ahead, cannibalize each other. And then when you come crying to us, you're going to have to get in line because it's silly.
But they are crying to them and they don't have the power because they don't have an antitrust exemption through Congress and they have not, and it will not seem to be agreeable to collectively bargain with the players. Until one of those two things happens, the NCAA is pointless, but there is just a whole host of schools going, we need the NCAA to mean something. We need it. Otherwise, we are screwed. You know, and it doesn't matter how much they wish it and want it. No. The problem is it doesn't matter if all of them agree, they will not follow their own rules. There's an 80-year history of it.
Yeah.
Justin Watkins, Judge Dan from the Fan in Denver, Alex White, Cofield here in the 4:00 hour. I know Alex is very concerned about this as a UNLV alum. Did we finally get the numbers on the settlement, the lawsuit battle between the Mountain West and the Pac-12?
We don't have the official number. I mean, it's going to come out because we've got public institutions galore involved here. But the reported number that people are running off of that seems to been reported without any pushback from the parties that be is $70 million. That seems to be the number. The
ask was for like 115?
155.
155.
Okay, so, well, that's the reported ask. And I dispute that number a little bit. The reported ask has basically always been $100 million in exit fees and $55 million in poaching fees. We know the $55 million is accurate because there's a mathematical equation in there that states this is the $55 million. And we know it was in the Mountain West demand letter. Okay, now, the exit fees, the math is different. The math is 3 times the distribution to that school in the prior year. Well, the problem, the issue there is essentially they have done in the last 3 years somewhere between $6.5 and $7.5 million of distribution. So everybody says 7 million times 3, 21 million. We'll call it 20 million times 5 schools, 100 million. But one of those schools is Boise State, who got more in distribution than the other schools. So their 3 times is reported as high as potentially 39 million. Okay, so they might have got as high as 13 million because of all the BCS stuff they were involved in and the college football playoff. So let's just take and say it is 100 plus the 55, 155 million. They got 70 million, which comports with Wilner's reporting of less than half, and Canzano's reporting of actually the number 70 million. If that's true, everybody wants to know, like, who won? And I would say it is a slightly better than average settlement of exit fees. The average settlement of exit fees recently has been somewhere between 55 and 65% of the exit fee number. Okay. They are at 70% of the exit fee number. But if you say it's 70% of the exit fee number, then that means it was 0 of poaching, which I think is accurate. I've said from day one, you can't get both. They're $2. You cannot legally. It's impossible to get both of those damages. So I think if you're picking a winner, I think you'd say it's slightly to the Pac-12's advantage. They did a little bit better than the Mountain West out of all of this fight. That the lawsuit was worth the fight for the Pac-12. I think they got off cheaper. And the tough part for the remaining members of the Mountain West is that's not an infusion of $70 million of new money because Mountain West has been withholding funds from those 5 schools this entire time. So it's really about, is best estimates, about $5 million of new money, somewhere in that range. And so when you look at it from that lens and the discovery that's coming through, I think that their attorneys probably could have what's called boarded damages of about 200 million, and they got about 70 million. So I think Mountain West is slightly the loser, but I think it's a good result all the same. I think it's a good result. They needed to be done. They need to move on. They didn't have a winning case.
30 seconds before the break here. So UNLV's lot in life?
So they're going to get pretty close to what they were, quote unquote, promised. They were supposed to get about $24.5 million. The new math will put it about $19 million. So you know what? If you're UNLV, you got a good deal out of this, and I think you're in as good a position as you could possibly be to be in the college football playoff. You're clearly the best in your conference, and you're one of the 3 conferences that's in the discussion for the best team being in the college football playoff. Now, what happens if the Protect Sports Act goes through and the Power Fours can go to 20? You hope you're on that list. It's close. You hope you're on the list.
I can't do this.
I was going to say, is this fun? Is this what we wanted?
Yeah.
The players got to get paid. I mean, this is it. This is what we wanted,
I
right?
love it. No, I love that part. I love that part. But
no.
the Protect College Sports stuff with the limitation on the Power 4 schools at 76 or 80 schools.
Don't worry. It's not passing. It's not passing.
I don't think it is either.
It's not passing. It's certainly not passing this session. Like, they would have to fast track the heck out of this thing before recess in September, and that's not going to happen.
Hola, buenos dias, mi familia.
John, why are you talking about family in Spanish?
Because here we treat everyone like family. The family you choose, Alex, and I want you to welcome all of them properly.
All right then, say this. ¿Cómo lo puedo ayudar hoy?
¿Cómo la puedo ayudar hoy?
Now you're talking.
At Finley Toyota, we're the family you choose.
La familia que eliges.
That's how we do things here. We treat everybody right.
I'm Xenophon Peters, founding partner at Panda Law.
And I'm Judah Zakalik, the other founding partner. Here at Panda, we're proud to be voted Nevada's best debt relief law firm.
You probably know that Panda Law has helped countless clients get out of debt without bankruptcy.
But did you know that some of our most dramatic, life-changing results come when clients have more than $50,000 in debt?
If you're ready to explore your options and free yourself from overwhelming debt, call Panda Law today.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
Patty Davidson here from BetMoneyHoney.com. Have you ever felt like the odd man out at a friend's house watching the game? After years in the sports betting industry, I can teach you the rules of different sporting events so you can now be part of that crowd of cheering fans with an understanding of the game. Plus, I can teach you how to place a bet on a game, which will completely change your perspective because you too can be a winner. Join me at BetMoneyHoney.com. That's BetMoneyHoney.com.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a look if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Hey Nevada, I'm Jacob Taylor, the real estate guy. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Growing up with Aaron Taylor taught me that nobody negotiates harder or gets seller's top dollar like the real estate guy. Need a cash advance? We can put money in your hands before closing to help with repairs, moving, bills, or whatever you need most. Don't want strangers walking through your home every weekend? No problem. We'll give you one simple number, your bottom line. No commissions, no hidden fees, no guessing. Just a straightforward offer, and in many cases, money in your hands in as little as 3 days. And if you're renting, ask me about My Buy Bank. You'll receive a $2,000 credit plus 10% of your monthly rent, all to use toward the purchase of your next home. Call 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. eXp Realty, license number 38886. Call for details.
talk to Aaron Taylor,
The real estate guy.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, rolling on 4 o'clock hour. Judge Dan is here from the Fan in Denver. He is a judge and he is an attorney. We've got Justin Watkins. These guys are pals now from Battleborn Injury Lawyers. Alex White is here.
Now, we're starring fame from the now defunct Cofield Legal podcast.
I know.
From years ago.
This reminds me of that legal podcast.
We made that legal podcast what it is today.
That's right.
We ran out of time.
Yeah.
Well, we had a guest on yesterday, Heath Klein, who I know from Atlanta and South Carolina, and I didn't know Heath. He's in radio. I didn't know him before COVID, and he actually was just an avid watcher of the late night podcast.
Really?
He just loved it. He just found this radio, dudes doing late night, when things were slow.
It's funny. I got hit with something that we did on the late night podcast a little while ago from like one of my daughter's friends' parents, almost as if they had like Googled, to see kind of like who these kids' parents are, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But pulled out something from late night that was only on that late night podcast, and I was like, went deep into the archives to pull that one out.
So this story comes out every year, and you sent it to me the other day, and it just annoys me because I'm not smart enough to put it out, and I don't take advantage of the internet. Brett McMurphy, who's a college football guy. Costco selling discounted tickets for South Carolina, Washington, Louisville, Tulane, FAU, Temple, UConn home games, other teams. Some include a $20 food beverage credit. This story's been out for like 8 years, and every year someone releases it, and they're like, FAU and Washington, losers, Costco tickets. I'm like, it's actually a really smart way of selling tickets because it hits a different audience, a captive audience. But you noticed something about Washington.
Yes.
That was a little disturbing. By the way, this got 685,000 views. So up
next year.
McMurphy's
just bookmark it right
I'm
now.
Not, I hate the story. I think it's stupid.
Well, you got to dig deep. You got to dig deep and then realize teams like Washington that broke up the Pac-12 in order to go to the Big Ten, with the idea of a financial boon. And then you look at the two tickets that are on there for $200, includes parking and $20 food and beverage credit for Penn State coming to Washington and Indiana coming to Washington. And they cannot sell out that stadium of 70,000 people. And to me, that's a story. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. You got some TV money, but you have a tough time competing now, and you're not filling your stadium. Like, the people don't want to watch their team get smoked. They don't. Especially,
so your case is it's the ass kicking that gets people mad, or the lack of regional rivalries?
Oh, I think it's both, right? Because they're happy to go to a game of like, even when they're down, when it's against Washington State, Oregon State. That pod mattered to all four of those schools. Those three other games always sold out, and even when you're terrible, because you're like, we're terrible, but we could beat the Cougs. Come on, man. That's the thing. And I know that wasn't necessarily present top to bottom all through the Pac-12. But my point is that the extra TV money minus the extra travel, now you have a new variable you have to put in there, which is loss of ticket revenue because of two things. I don't get the automatic sellout for the regional rivalry. It's defending national champions coming to your school, and you can't sell it out. So I don't get the automatic sellout for 3 games. And I'm losing fans from showing up to the stadium because nobody wants to show up to watch their team get their butt kicked. And that's what's happening to Washington in that conference.
Yeah, we got a minute here, and then we'll come back.
Well, maybe we'll talk about later in the show. It's very interesting now what's going on with Colorado and Coach Prime as far as getting butts in the seats.
Season ticket holder.
You
got time? Go ahead. Start.
Well, no, I mean.
Are you out on the season tickets?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm like,
oh my God, here it goes.
I'm like everybody else. Like, this team stinks. Yeah. It was fun for a while.
They done suck from the beginning.
When we all wanted to go, the university was like, sorry, pound sand. Now they're begging us. Season tickets still available. It's crazy. It's over.
I love it, man. It's, you know what? Like, and actually, I think Colorado's going to be better than they previously have been this year.
But you do think,
suck.
In closing here, you do think places like, say, Rutgers, FAU, or UNLV, which does offer tickets at Costco, not the worst move, right?
I think it's super smart for UNLV, right? Like, Washington's coming from 70,000 down.
Hold that thought.
UNLV's building up.
Yep.
ZipZap Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the Valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, ZipZap is your one-stop shop, offering smog tests, oil changes, detailing, bodywork, and engine and transmission rebuilding. Plus, ZipZap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary. ZipZap Auto on Cheyenne and North Durango Drive, and online at zipzapauto.com.
2 of Zippy's favorite items at a special price? Yep, the August deal is a spaghetti and chicken mix plate for only $10.99 at the takeout counter. Also available in the dine-in restaurant for a slightly higher price. Take advantage of this limited time special offer through August 30th. Just order and pay online or through the Zippy's app. Limit 5 plates. Zippy's, celebrating 60 years of serving Hawaii comfort foods. 4 locations to serve you. Arroyo Crossing, Southeastern in Henderson, West Charleston Boulevard in Summerlin, and now on Camino al Norte.
When someone in our Las Vegas community gets hurt, I take it personally. I know what it feels like to fight for your family, to face medical bills, lost wages, and fear of the unknown. At Gina Carina and Associates, you're not just another case. You're a person with a story, and I'm here to help you write a better ending. We fight hard, we fight smart, and we never forget it's your life we have on our hands.
Gina Carina and Associates, changing lives daily.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
This season, it's your turn to play like a pro with the William Hill Pro Pick'em Football Contest. No spreads, no guesswork, so I'm in. It's Steve Cofield. The William Hill Pro Pick'em Football Contest is awesome. Just pick the winners and take your shot at a share of over $1.2 million in cash prizes. For just $25, you're instantly in the game. If you dominate the season with 215 wins, you could score a $1 million cash bonus. Don't wait. Register now and lock in your picks before the season kicks off on Sunday, September 13th. Get all the details and find a location near you at williamhill.us. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh, yeah. Used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
By the time August rolls around, you've stopped being surprised by the heat. You walk outside, you get in your car, and wait for the AC to catch up. And at the end of the day, the one place you need to be cool is home. Your AC has been running since May, morning, noon, and night. And when it stays hot overnight, it never gets a rest. It just keeps grinding until something gives. At Gettle, we've been doing this for over 85 years. We know what a summer like this does to a system. Call us and make sure your home is the one place the heat can't follow you. GOETTL. We'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Cofield along with Alex White, company, Judge Danson from Denver, does radio on the Fan in Denver. Dan, what's your firm in Denver? We never give you enough shout outs because you have a firm as well. You need to make money.
Yeah, it's 303 Law 4040. Okay. That's what we call it.
And he does an award-winning show.
Yes, the award-winning Dan Jacobs show. Marconi award-winning.
I gave him advice last week because no one in Denver is listening right now, even though you retweeted the connection. He was getting a little guff from some of the higher-ups. And I was like, You're a judge and an attorney, and you do a show for them. Tell them to buzz off.
Yeah.
You don't need advice.
Right. What were they giving them?
I tell you, you're good. You're good.
What, they were saying you weren't good?
I don't think we want to do this.
Yeah. You know, it's like that Letterman or Howard Stern thing where you got one boss that thinks he knows everything.
Pig vomit?
Yeah, pig vomit. So my new
I
boss,
guess he wanted to do it on the air.
Yeah, my new boss is pig vomit, and so I'm like, really? Okay, and so.
He's a troublemaker.
I'm a troublemaker. Well, I am a troublemaker. Like none of the, every show has a former athlete except mine because they're like, oh, we don't like Jacobs. He lawyers us. And, I'm too argumentative, apparently.
Yeah.
So, they're like, you just do your own thing.
I think you're great.
Well, thank you.
He is dynamite.
Yes,
I told you
agree.
after I sat
Yeah.
here for 2 hours one morning, he was using our studios, watching him. I was like, man, you're a lot better than I even thought
Justin.
you were. And he's a regular guest, but watching him control a show, and he was really good. And he's still good because he's on. Okay, I just said that McMurphy story with the engagement and the tickets being sold at Costco, college football tickets, stuff like that annoys me. I'll give you the other one that annoys me, but you sent it over, so I'm gonna have you guys have at it, and I want Alex in on this. The story with Clay Travis putting the WNBA and women's basketball in a no-win position.
Yes. I mean, I don't like it either. I mean, obviously it's clickbait, and what I really don't like about what's happening with the right and their perspective on the WNBA. And first off, let me just start by saying, like, you're not asking me this, but I think what Sophia Cunningham said is just fine. Like, I'm agreeable to that position. Like, I think what the new rule in tennis is just fine. But I understand that it is perceived as a political third rail, dangerous to talk about. It's really not. Like, when you poll Americans at large, it's like 82% of the people agree with what Sophia Cunningham said. But they have now politicized this.
Can I just mention the Travis story that we're going to mention here? He offered $10 million to the Aces to play a championship boys high school team.
Right. Well,
which is, again, this is like McMurphy. This story, he's just rehashing the same story because he offered $1 million a few years ago.
Right. But he also said he would pay the expansion fee, start if the WNBA wanted to be all inclusive, and that's what they say, there could be no more inclusive than what he's proposing, which is the Nashville Balls, and it's all transgendered athletes who are all on the team, and they get to compete. He'll pay the expansion fee. They'll, and if they want to be inclusive, make it all inclusive, right? So I don't like it, though. I don't like it because you can't constantly say, shut up and stick to sports. And then when they shut up and stick to sports, which is largely what got this all in the flurry, was Caitlin Clark said, that's not a topic. We don't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. I just want to play ball. And they lambasted her for not taking a position. Meanwhile, for the last decade, all the right has done to athletes is say, shut up about the politics. We got that. Just entertain us and play ball. And that's all Caitlin Clark's trying to do, and they're hitting her for it. And it's just given all this traction to Clay Travis in this silly proposal, right, which is clearly just a political stunt. I hate it too, but I also think the WNBA has made missteps that put themselves in this position. Like, the UFC is a great example. The UFC has people saying all kinds of super disagreeable things. And what does Dana White say? I don't muzzle my fighters.
Yeah.
Anybody can say whatever they want. First Amendment, man. Like it or hate or like them. We allow everybody to speak their mind. And the WNBA can simply just do that. They're all entitled to their opinions. I'm not going to muzzle my player, the players of the league. Sophie Cunningham expounded her position. Some of the coaches said some other things. Great. Everybody can say their piece. But the WNBA didn't do that. The WNBA takes this position of like inclusiveness is the key, and it just gives fodder to people like Clay Travis go, oh, inclusiveness? Cool. You think this is all equal? Well, why don't we do this stunt? $10 million a piece. Let's go Las Vegas Aces. I get to pick the boys basketball team.
It's
silly. It is so odd. I mean, the amount of times that they have jumped in a press conference when a question is asked that they don't like, and they're just like, this is done, right?
Yes.
And we're just seeing it more and more.
Yeah. And like the players are perfectly capable of saying they want to answer that or no, they don't want to answer it. Caitlin Clark clearly did it. I'm not answering that. Like she didn't have to say that. She said, that's not a topic. That's not what we talk about. That's not in the locker room. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'm talking about basketball. Great. Perfect answer. But now both sides hate her for it.
I don't think Mark Davis would want to get involved in this. It is his team.
Yeah.
But I would love Davis to counter with, okay, why don't we do this? We'll have a doubleheader. We'll have your high school boys basketball team play my Aces. And then after the game, we will have the best junior high school girl, double or nothing, play you, Clay.
He would definitely say yes to that.
And he would have no chance.
Yeah, so
and he'd
what?
be out $20 million.
So what?
But he would prove his point.
Prove his point.
But his
point is,
by the way,
who
needs to prove this? Are we really going to argue women's basketball against men's basketball? And you're not putting me in an uncomfortable position.
that's my whole point.
Like, I don't even know why anyone would, like, because I thought you were going to go down the path of a misstep where WNBA players are constantly saying they're better than men's players. They don't say that.
They don't say that. But I also think, like, it is going to get political, but I'm just going to say this. As a father of 2 daughters who participate in sports, I don't appreciate the dialogue that being that the idea that being pro inclusiveness of trans women in sports doesn't come at the cost of women's rights. It does. There's nobody is trying to take away any men's rights. The inclusiveness of trans women in sports is only happening to women and women's rights and women's sports. And so I'm just not willing to make that trade. I think we have fought for a very long time to get some equal opportunities for women in sports. And if we want to include trans women, which I am okay with, it's not at the expense of those women's rights. It's at some other expense, something else, some other underrepresented group, or overrepresented group needs to take that hit. The men or different inclusion rules, but it does not come at the expense of the trans rights are currently in the dialogue of the exclusion of women's rights. That's the trade-off, and I'm not willing to make it.
You need to get Justin on this topic, and your pig vomit will roll over in the girl.
Yeah, well, one, I'm not talking about it because
you're a girl dad.
I am, but I think Justin and I probably have a fundamental difference of opinion on some of this, and as a judge,
sometimes he's got
a little too political for me to be.
He's got to sit out sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to.
We know that.
Weigh in on that.
Yeah, I remember that from the late nights. Sometimes we
well, I would say I can't touch this because it's politics, but and then I would go into politics. I'm not willing to do that right now.
Can we? Oh, we got time. We're not going.
Retweet this out.
No. You love you. You know, I love. I sent you topics for the start of this period block on class action lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to get to the AI pricing and wage stuff. That's an important story too. But on class action lawsuits, when we see these pitches, I don't know if you clicked on any of them, but when we see these pitches from people, I hesitate because there's sort of NV Energy is doing some sort of refund.
Yeah.
But there's other companies are now being popped more and more often for collecting data and selling it without us knowing.
Right.
So should we be getting involved? Like one of them was what? MyChart, which I actually do use. That's a medical service.
Yeah.
Do you get involved? Well, like, what's your advice on class action lawsuits? And I want to hear from Dan too. Like, what are they scams? What are we doing?
Well, my first piece of advice is don't take your information on what to do, the existence of a class action suit or what to do in regards to a class action suit from TikTok. That's my first piece of advice.
I know. Cofield's like, what?
That's where I get all my news.
No. I did hesitate because I often think like, hey, why is this person so interested in pitching this?
Yeah. Yes. And there are people that think it's okay to pitch that kind of stuff and actually get arrested. It is illegal for you to try to recruit class action members when you are not a part of a law firm. So you got to be careful in the way they word those things. Like the video you sent me, I don't think crosses the line. It doesn't say call me. It doesn't say, email me and I'll put you all together and then I'll get you in contact with an attorney. If you ever hear that pitch, that's no good. That's against the law. But I would say this, class action lawsuits are the furthest thing from a scam, in my opinion. They are sometimes the only manner in which we can actually effectuate change that is necessary when the wrong is so incrementally divided across the country or the nation or the world, so that any one person doesn't care themselves to the point where they can actually make change. But when we put it all together, it becomes so impactful that things like MyChart sharing information with tech companies that is protected HIPAA health and personal records is a wrong. And if I were to sue individually for that wrong, it would not change the behavior of MyChart. But when we all collectively sue, their behavior will change. Now, does that mean I financially will get a windfall? Unlikely. Will I get an amount of money that will even, buy me a hamburger? Maybe not. But the conduct will change moving forward. That's really the essence of class action.
Yeah. Like I've often thought, for example, Snapchat. Why has there not been a massive class action lawsuit to prevent them from facilitating predatory behavior?
I saw a story with Snapchat where they leaked out someone's DMs. This is outrageous. I just do. This is all I do when I'm not working. I collect sports stories and then I watch us getting violated left and right with our privacy. These flock cameras. We have to get to that one too at some point.
Well, we have
a big concern, man.
We have some rulings on that, though.
Big Brother's watching.
The Supreme Court just issued a decision this week that said that going through a phone and obtaining data like that about a person is, in fact, a search and seizure. All these flock cameras, you are now on notice. That is a search and seizure. So careful. I think that's all going to change.
I'll give you a good tip I just came up with. If you take Rust-Oleum reflective spray and spray it on your... I'll stop.
I don't even know what Rust-Oleum is. So
I can just send you the story after story.
Hey, where'd you learn how to cook bacon?
Just don't send me TikTok stories. Just don't. I don't have TikTok. I don't want them. I get constantly unsolicited TikTok videos of like, hey, what do you think about this? I can't watch it. I don't know.
What do you mean you can't watch it?
I can't watch it.
Oh, it's such a
He doesn't have
pain
the app.
trying to open it when you don't have the app or
Just get
are
an
on it
account you don't
often.
really use. You got to watch this stuff. It's good.
No, I'm out. I don't want
The
it.
country's coming together. Now, there's a lot of trolling up there. And a lot-
There's a larger social problem between man and wife with TikTok and the television. Maybe we'll get into that later, but
Lordy.
That's my
Yes.
problem with TikTok.
It's mine too.
Yeah.
But
What,
I'm
you're trying to watch a show and your wife's on
She's
TikTok?
watching TV.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching TV.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And then she says, what happened? Because she was scrolling on TikTok?
I don't know. I couldn't hear because you're watching a reel that changes every 6 seconds, and she watches it 8 times in a row.
with
The same
with
one.
the sound up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, it's not. It should be illegal.
That
but
happens on the Cofield front, and I'm like, oh, what are we doing here? If you want to watch it, you can watch it. We got the sound up now.
Yeah.
Come on now, Justin. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Judge Dan's going to stick around. Up next, Miles Simmons from Pro Football Talk.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event. Take the summer fun farther with a great deal on a Honda Hybrid or EV with impressive efficiency. The all-electric Honda Prologue, CR-V Hybrid, Accord Hybrid, and Civic Hybrid have all you need to get summer ready with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.49% APR on a 2026 CR-V Hybrid.
See dealer for financing details. Based on EPA estimate of 2024 large full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy. EPA Automotive Trends Report 2025.
Las Vegas, let's come together and make history. The Richard Harris Law Firm and Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, along with the Village, Behind the Blue, and UNLV invite you to Back to School, Bigger and Better Together. Join us July 30th at the Thomas O'Mac Center for free backpacks, school supplies, dental exams, haircuts, and valuable community resources for the whole family. Bigger and Better Together, July 30th at the Thomas and Mack Center, sponsored by the Richard Harris Law Firm.
An accident isn't just an accident. It's lost time, lost wages, and a fight you didn't choose. At DeCastro Law, we deliver serious firepower for serious injuries. Together, we win.
BrothersWin.com. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
What did they just say?
You don't have to yell at us. Nobody is on the other side of this issue.
Hit us up on the Bay Law text line, 702-364-1100. Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is not an accident. Listen to UNLV Sports right here on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas. Appetizers are a great way to start a meal. And perhaps we should think of the NFL season as a great meal at a restaurant. Well, if that's the case, what do you say we start off with an appetizer this Thursday, as it's the Hall of Fame game featuring the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Carolina Panthers? And for this appetizer, no need for a napkin or a fork. Just turn on your radio Thursday at 5 in the evening to Fox Sports Las Vegas, 1340 AM, 94.7 FM, and Comp 92.3 HD Channel 2.
I can't imagine you were a fashionista rolling up to training camp with the Philadelphia Eagles back in the early 90s.
I understand it was harder when I played, but I'm not calling this generation soft.
You would never.
I'm really not, because I'm jealous. Sure. I am jealous of the fact that they cannot go back-to-back practices in pads, when some days we would go back-to-back practices with pads twice a day. I hated camp.
Weekday mornings starting at 7 on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM. Live from the Findlay Toyota Studios, it's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, roll it out on a busy Wednesday. Did you bet anything in baseball today?
Nothing today.
What's going on with you? Disappointed. I figured you got action every day.
Yeah, Wednesday's early games, so I've been busy. So I didn't have a chance to really deep dive into the games and the matchups and see what I liked.
That's why you win. You're not a moron, and you just don't bet because you have to bet. That's why you've won last man standing contest, at least two of them that we know of.
I've had a few phases, right, where I was kind of chasing and like just flip open the app and put in some bets, and then you realize real fast that you should just stick to a process and have your numbers.
So boring. But winning. Bottom five now, A's and Reds are tied at 1. I feel the obligation to get a Cleveland Guardians score out there, but I'm looking for it. 3-1. Mets are on top. Middle of the 5th in Cleveland. We're going to get to the baseball with Miles Simmons, but I do want to start talking football at the get-go because we usually throw Miles off his mark by talking about other stuff. Miles, of course, from Pro Football Talk. He's up with Alex White and Cofield here in the 5 o'clock hour. What's going on, buddy?
Hello, guys. I'm a little disappointed in that Guardians score. I hadn't checked it, but, it's annoying that they go out, they make all these trades, and now they just are just luluing down their side of their leg with the pitching now.
Yep.
And they still can't hit. So maybe they'll shape up over the course of the next few weeks. I hope so.
Dodgers got Scooble, and they still suck. So 6 in a row.
6 now. Yeah. Yikes. I was watching that.
Rough times. Okay. It's football season. Very important weekend coming up with the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame game is the mark. I wonder if the Hall of Fame game is even bigger here in Vegas because, we're the home of gambling. And I remember years ago, people would, from outside the market, be like, oh, degenerates if you're betting on the Hall of Fame game. Mind your own business. If people, no,
Steve, come on. I'm sorry.
You're wrong on this.
Man.
In the preseason,
then I'll be wrong.
In the preseason, you can get more defined information at times on lineups and who's playing than you can during the regular season.
Okay, I mean,
I'm not saying it's a massive advantage.
Maybe. But, I mean, if you're betting on Carson Beck tomorrow night, like, Carson Beck and Kenny Pickett, like, you're really going to tell me that's not a level of degeneracy where you might want to call the number?
No. And by the way, I love that matchup because of the side stories, which poor Kenny Pickett, by the way, for guys, don't ever let anyone measure your hands, especially if you think they're on the small side, because you never live that down. We've done that before in studio, and we had a poor producer who had baby hands, and he took a beating for like 2 years. But Kenny Pickett with the baby hands, and then on the other side, Carson Beck, and I hope people discover him more. Carson Beck and his personality is a very interesting thing. But I'm kind of rooting for Carson Beck to be a good NFL quarterback and good enough. If I'm a Cardinal fan, I want Carson Beck playing a lot this year. Good for Jacoby Brissett that he got his money, but I need to lose, and I need Carson Beck out there.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know that Jacoby Brissett or Carson Beck are going to make you like worse enough to lose. I mean, that division is so tough, and it's also interesting to me because there's so much like incestuousness with the coaching staffs. I mean, we have Mike LaFleur that just came from Sean McVay's staff on Los Angeles, and then all different coordinators. I don't remember who the OC is off the top of my brain, but it's somebody else that comes from the Kyle Shanahan tree. And obviously they had, head coach of the Raiders, Clint Kubiak, last year that was there, and he was directing the offense, and he had Sam was a quarterback and the backup with the 49ers, and then he goes to Seattle, and they was like, there's just a lot of intermixing that is going on in there. But I mean, the Cardinals right now, God love them, but like, I don't know how you compete in that division with the quarterback situation that they've got right now.
Panthers clearly a better team than the Cardinals. I'm not doing this as a handicap for the Hall of Fame game, believe me. But the outlook this season, Miles, though, is much higher on the Panthers. And part of that is, what was the comment that one of the execs made about the limitless potential of Bryce Young?
Yeah, he said he has an unknown ceiling.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Limitless potential is actually better than an unknown ceiling.
Definitely.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, that is a great question. And, credit to the folks on the Panthers beating Charlotte, because they were kind of trying to figure that out and trying to pin Tillis down. Tillis is the executive vice president of football operations. So he's ahead of, Dan Morgan, their GM, and Dave Canales, their head coach. And what I find so interesting about Bryce Young, like, you don't want to be talking about a QB going into year 4 that you traded up to draft number 1 overall as a player with, in quote, unknown ceiling. Like that's not what you want. And I mean, Bryce Young, by any measure, has not lived up to being drafted number 1 overall. Like, he's not. All right. Like, did they win the division last year? Sure. He barely passed for over 3,000 yards, and they were 8-9. So I mean, you said that the Panthers' outlook is better than the Cardinals. I mean, like, yeah, but right, what are we really talking about there in the NFC South? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Bryce Young believer, and I don't know what you would handicap like his contract number. What should that be? Because it certainly should not be $50 million. I understand picking up his 5th-year option to keep, for lack of a better word, your options open. But I mean, I can't see, with the way he's performed so far in his career, signing this player to a long-term deal at quarterback. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Miles Simmons is with us. Alex White. I'm going to ask Alex first and then bounce it to Miles. You guys are both a lot younger than I am. My point is that when Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald go into the Hall of Fame, does that mean something to you versus, there's a lot of old timers, obviously, who were playing well before I was born or, in my era. Does it mean more that there's recognizable people going in?
Yeah, I would say so. It actually honestly kind of makes me feel old as well, though.
Well, you are old.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. No, you're not. Miles, is that an accurate question? Like, do you feel like, hey, now the players of my era are actually going to the Hall of Fame, and do you think to yourself, like, man, I kind of am old now? And you're not. You're not. Not one of you guys is old.
Well, I got carded at Trader Joe's earlier today, and I'm thinking, like, good Lord, man, I'm a month from turning 35. Like, I don't really think that that's necessary anymore. I don't know. I mean, I think it was obviously really cool to watch, guys like Drew Brees, like Fitzgerald growing up, like Brees was one of those guys that you would turn on the TV and watch, and you knew that you were going to get like a really, really good quarterbacking performance. And that was just what you thought of the Saints for so many years with Sean Payton there as head coach as well. So I think it's cool. I do think it's also one of those deals where, gosh, and I can't remember who it was, but there's somebody who has a son that is like going into the league. And I thought to myself, like, okay, that actually feels right. He seems like he's old enough that his son actually should be playing. And I wish I could remember which player this was, because obviously there were a ton of players right now. But yeah, I think it's cool when you watched guys and now they're going into the Hall of Fame and you're like, yeah, this was a future Hall of Famer when you watch them, and now they actually are a Hall of Famer.
If you were to talk to someone younger than all of us and they were like, I don't know any of these guys, who would you bring up as the most intriguing story between Drew Brees, Fitzgerald, Kuechly, Vinatieri, and Roger Craig?
I would say that probably people don't know as much about Luke Kuechly, but Luke Kuechly was one of the best linebackers of his era. And, you think about that from the standpoint of like the 2015 Panthers. Like that team was so excellent at so many different levels, and it is in some ways it's a little bit of a shame that they lost to the 2015 Broncos, but gosh dang, that 2015 Broncos defense was so darn good too. But yeah, I think that's the one where I'd be like, hey, you would hear of, Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees and all, but like go back and just watch Luke Kuechly highlights on YouTube, which is one of the luxuries we now have, is that people can go do that. That's the one where I would say, yeah, like go look at what he did, because he was just such an outstanding linebacker and really was a conductor of that defense for a long time and at such a high level.
Alex, for you, is there a player, if you were talking, someone asked you, hey, Alex, tell me about these players, where you'd instantly gravitate to someone to tell their story?
Well, I mean, obviously I look at the first two with Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald, but I would say Fitzgerald before Drew Brees, because yes, the Super Bowls for the Saints came with Drew Brees and kind of that legacy there, but Fitzgerald is, I mean, I'm trying to double check you here because you have second most receiving yards in NFL history. Is that correct?
Those were the internets reporting that.
So, but I mean,
he had an incredible career. He really didn't get
So-
the attention he deserved because he wasn't on winning teams all the time. I mean, I think his ties to, his dad's career, that's kind of interesting. Brees is an amazing story, though, when you think about the fact that, one, he is a diminutive guy, and it is really hard to play quarterback. I mean, I think later in his career, you see these shots where he's like putting his chin up. You're like, how the hell does he see anything? But it's also his path to greatness, because people forget he started with the Chargers, and the Chargers were like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna make a run at Eli Manning or Phillip Rivers, so we're gonna move on. And then Nick Saban might have college football might be completely different the last 20 years if the Dolphins had just freaking cleared Drew Brees. I mean, Brees was talking the other day, again, recalling what Doctor said, like, bro, we don't know if you're ever going to throw again. He's never going to throw again. And now, eventually Saban, didn't last because they picked the wrong quarterback, and Brees goes on. And I mean, I think Drew Brees' run, Miles, is amazing considering a lot of factors.
Absolutely. No, it totally was. And, that's what I said. You look at Drew Brees and what he was able to do for so long, and the accuracy from his stature from the pocket, right? I mean, like what we've seen in the last couple years, Russell Wilson, who is a quarterback of similar size and stature, right? I mean, they're right at that 6 foot mark. And when it's gone for Russell Wilson, it has gone so quickly. And part of that, I think, is because Wilson used his legs a lot more than Brees, and Brees was more of a true pocket passer. But I think to be able to construct a team from the Saints standpoint where you can give the quarterback lineman where he can find the windows, and Drew Brees' knowledge of what the windows are from the pocket, like that is so difficult to do at a high level for as long as he did it. So yeah, I mean, his story really is pretty incredible.
Hall of Fame weekend. His Hall of Fame game is coming up tomorrow with the Panthers and the Cardinals. Miles Simmons covers everything football for Pro Football Talk. You see him on Peacock as well. I love this tweet and story I saw the other day, or maybe it was today. Aaron Donald had a tryout to evaluate how he felt with the Rams with the helmet and the pads on. What?
Yeah. My understanding is that, is it really a tryout when it's Aaron Donald? No, but that's kind of how you have to classify it, because it's got to be an official transaction, because he was at the Rams team facility. And my understanding is he is on the path of likely coming back, right? Like that seems to be, but they don't know yet for sure. And they want to give Aaron Donald, they being the Rams, all the time that he needs in order to figure this out. And so they don't want to pressure him. I don't think when they got Myles Garrett, there was ever really this inkling in their mind, oh, Aaron Donald might want to come back too. Right? And so that's why part of what we want to do is, no, they wanted Myles Garrett because he is the best defensive player on the planet right now. And so if you can add a former defensive player, best defensive player on the planet, to your roster, you want to do that. I think it's just interesting that they're going to have to navigate this in a certain way where, hey, Aaron hasn't been on the field, on a football field, for 2 years. And that's significant. And if you're an offensive coordinator too, and Aaron Donald does end up coming back, I would think that your protection plan would be, all right, Myles Garrett is not going to ruin our day. He might anyway, but we're going to effort Myles Garrett not ruining our day before we turn that attention to Aaron Donald, even though Aaron Donald plays from the interior and that's a quicker path to the QB, because Aaron Donald hasn't played for 2 years. And Myles Garrett, we just saw set the all-time single-season sack record while playing for the Browns, right? So you say that this guy is not as big of a threat yet. And I think Aaron Donald would have to prove that. I'm sure he can, but that's sort of where things stand right now. So, yeah, Aaron was at the Rams facility. He was working out. He's trying to figure out how he feels, how he recovers with the pads and the helmet, because, again, he hasn't done this for a couple of years. So we'll see. I just think that this is something that we might get a little bit more movement on over the course of the next week, because the Rams are going to be breaking camp where they are right now at Loyola Marymount University, which is down by Marina del Rey, if you're familiar with the geography of Los Angeles. And then they will go back to their practice facility about 20-ish miles north in the Valley and Woodland Hills. And that is going to be probably when things might start really moving and might get imminent with Aaron Donald's return.
Miles Simmons, Pro Football Talk, is up on ESPN Las Vegas with Steve Cofield, Alex White. All right, on to other topics around the National Football League. There's a weird one here. Was there some aggressive signage or some kind of controversy going on with the media and fans in terms of video at the Chiefs complex?
I'm not necessarily sure specifically what you're talking about, which is not good radio, and probably because I don't always read Pro Football Talk when other people write stuff. But if you're referring to the tweet I sent out earlier, where it was like, okay, yeah. So it wasn't necessarily the Chiefs. There are a lot of teams, and I think the Texans have been one of them, and I know D'Amico Ryans had said a little bit of something about this. The Packers have recently changed their media policy so that they can film one-on-ones, but then you still can't film team drills. And I understand not wanting reporters to film team drills, whatever. But the thing that I was talking about is that the Chiefs don't really have these kinds of restrictions on fans, right? And like, that's fine. But a lot of times what teams say is, protect our plays. Like, if you're a fan, you shouldn't want our plays to get out. And it's like, well, the Chiefs don't really have these restrictions, and the Chiefs are still year in, year out under Andy Reid have been really, really good, right? They weren't last year, but obviously, but when you're talking about a team that won back-to-back Super Bowls and they weren't concerned about this stuff where protect our plays, like, are you really going to get a good read on what a team might do on October whatever on August 5th? No, you're not, because a lot of things are game plan specific. So my whole point is, if you're really concerned about this stuff about protecting your plays in August when fans are at training camp, you're majoring in the minor a little bit. And I think that teams that tend to major in the minor don't end up being good teams. So that was more my point there.
I misread that on the Chiefs part of it, that you were saying, pointing out the Chiefs stuff with Jeff Schwartz. So baseball to close.
All right.
I think I misread were you joking about Joe Adele? You seem to be unaware of Joe Adele and who he was.
Oh, no, I totally was. Okay. I actually was unaware of him.
That's that. No. The Angels, another player with the Angels, were like right up the road. You're not aware of who he is. I thought that was a great pickup.
Listen, the Angels might as well play in a different state. All right. Yeah. Do you know how far away Anaheim is from Santa Monica?
I understand.
It would take 2 hours for me to drive down there and get to that freaking stadium.
You don't have to go to the games to watch them on TV. The point is, the Angels have zero exposure in the LA area to the, and even bigger on that is the frustration that Angels fans feel when they hear about Ohtani, breaking out and getting real exposure with the Dodgers. And they're like, he was with the Angels for 8 years, and you act like he just came to the LA market. But I understand they're different markets. I think we lost Miles. Damn. Internet. All right.
That Mike Trout wants to be here. And it's like, well, Mike Trout, I want to see Mike Trout play the playoff.
Yeah, we'll cut him off. All right. Good job by Miles Simmons. We almost got to the end of it. Let's do a giveaway here. We got the William Hill Pro Pick'em contest. It is open up. Love this contest. It's $25 to get in. You can have multiple entries. It is no spreads. You just pick the game straight up in the National Football League. You got to be in before September 13th. There's a $1.2 million total prize pool. There's a chance to win a $10,000 prize every week or a share of $10,000. Call in right now. Caller 7, you're going to get free entry into the William Hill Pro Pick'em contest. If you want to find out about the locations, where to sign up, because you do every week have to go to the location. Sign up. That's an initial thing, and then you go put your picks in at the locations, and obviously there's William Hill books all over Las Vegas. But if you don't know where they are, sign-up details, go to williamhill.us. Caller 7 right now. Free entry into the William Hill Pro Pick'em contest, 364-1100.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line. 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
Summer just got a whole lot more rewarding at Terrible's. During our 100 Days of Summer, we are dropping new deals every single day. At Terrible's, the calendar is stacked. Free products, buy one, get one offers, and 50 cents off each gallon of gas every day. What are you waiting for? The only way to find out is to download the Terrible's Plus Rewards app and earn daily rewards all summer long. 100 Days of Summer at Terrible's. Something new every day, everywhere. Visit Terrible's.com for details.
When someone in our Las Vegas community gets hurt, I take it personally. I know what it feels like to fight for your family, to face medical bills, lost wages, and fear of the unknown. At Gina Carina and Associates, you're not just another case. You're a person with a story, and I'm here to help you write a better ending. We fight hard, we fight smart, and we never forget it's your life we have on our hands.
Gina Carina and Associates. Changing lives daily.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55 plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
Hi, sports fans, it's The Herd. We're here to talk about game changers. Just like in sports, business has all its MVPs, and Ford Country in the Valley Auto Mall is leading the pack. At Ford Country, you'll get VIP experience with the best service in town and exceptional savings on your favorite Fords like the F-150, Explorer, and the Bronco. Visit Ford Country at the Valley Auto Mall or online at FordCountryHenderson.com. Ford Country, where the difference is real.
Unlock the savings at Boost Mobile and save up to $600 a year. I've been scouting these big carriers for a minute now, and I've seen them pull the same play 1,000 times. They promise you the world, then hit you with a price hike right when the game gets tight. But Boost Mobile, their $25 a month unlimited wireless plan is the most consistent player on the floor. No contracts, no price hikes. Unlock the savings today at boostmobile.com/unlock. Based on average annual single line payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months of the Boost Mobile unlimited wireless plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
Hey, Jackie, thanks for the recommendation. You know, my son got an awesome deal on that engagement ring. He got a custom gold setting and a free 2-carat lab-grown diamond.
I told you, Michael Amen and Diamond Jewelers is the diamond and wedding ring store. They're the most trusted family jeweler in town with the most affordable prices.
You wouldn't put your life savings into a slot machine, so why keep it at a big bank where every month can feel like a gamble? At One Nevada Credit Union, we aren't playing games with your money. You get stability, local service, and better rates. Stop pulling the lever and hoping for the best. Switch to One Nevada Credit Union. Don't gamble with big banks. Federally insured by NCUA.
Technology never stands still. And neither does Les Olson IT. For 70 years and counting, we've helped businesses adapt, grow, and stay secure through every change. With experienced people and smart technology solutions, we make work easier, more productive, and more secure. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Let Les be here for you.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner & Rowe today and let's make them pay. 877-1500.
Call 877-1500. 877-1500.
Randy Westbrook, managing attorney.
apply. This sports update is brought to you by the William Hill Pro Pick'em Football Contest with $1.2 million up for grabs. Get your picks locked in before September 13th. Find a location near you at williamhill.us.
Last night, the Aviators started their longest homestand of the season with a victory over the Tacoma Rainiers by a score of 10-8. They'll go at it again tonight against Tacoma, 7:05 first pitch as it's Bark on the Berm night at the Las Vegas Ballpark.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, rolling on 5 o'clock hour. We'll get you a baseball update before we get out of here as the A's had the early start against the Reds. A lot of finals in, as we were joking earlier. Told you, Dodgers just aren't any better with Skubal. They can't win. They've lost 6 in a row. We've got Judge Dan in here from Denver. He works for The Fan. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on with Denver sports.
Yes,
lots. But first, I wanted you to finish up. You were making some comments about Colorado football.
Yeah.
So you're out on Prime and the season tickets.
Well, and part of the reason is, I mean, I'm on the air during their games. Yeah. And I was kind of had the tickets to kind of reward other people. Well, then I got Broncos tickets. And so I'm going to I actually don't go to a lot of those games either, but if I don't need 2 sets of season tickets.
Right.
And yeah, by the way, I don't like going to games. Like parking and people.
Broncos or Buffaloes or both?
I don't like going to any games ever. I've been trying to get more social in the last few years. So I've been going to a little more stuff. I get out of my house and stuff, but I just hate being around people and everybody's drunk and, and parking and yada, yada.
You don't sound like a very nice guy.
Well,
I'm actually with you. I'm not a
shocking.
I'm not a giant. Well, the biggest reason for me is my frugality because it's expensive to go to games.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I like paying attention to half dozen games.
Yeah, and you can rewind, pause, skip commercials, all that stuff. It's just so much more comfortable in your home. But with Prime, that first year, it was crazy. Yeah. Like you couldn't get a ticket. And it was still the second year when you had Shador and Travis Hunter. It was still great. And now they're just bad. And we realize the coaching is really bad. The talent is not there. The thing I had said about Coach Prime was I admired – he seemed to be very innovative. Like he was the first guy, felt like to me, that was like, hey, when he showed up, he told everybody to transfer. They'd won 1 game before. He's like, jump out of the portal so I can get guys to jump in. You're out. And he took a lot of heat for that. Well, these poor college kids, they made a commitment to the program. How can you get rid of them like that? And he said, hey, it is what it is. And there was this perception that everybody wanted to come play for Coach Prime. Well, then why going into year 4 now are they not just loaded?
Because I think kids are smartened up,
right? So he did,
and word's gotten around about the kind of program they run. That the coaching isn't that great. You and I have talked about this, and it's something that really hasn't been highly exposed. 1, he's been sick, but 2, he really doesn't work at it. I mean, it's unforgivable at the collegiate level to actually boast about I don't do home visits. Well, then you can't compete. Like part of the reason that kids want to come there might be you, but you got to show up at their house, the highest level guys, and close the door. Everyone else is doing the same thing.
And he is like there are literally players on his team. He doesn't know who they are.
He doesn't know who they are.
He won't know who they are.
He didn't know the center a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he didn't know that.
I know he didn't know him. No, it didn't know him by name.
But the thing that really shocked me was, first off, I thought, well, they were winning at Jackson State, so he must know something. But that first staff he brought in was really, especially at the coordinators, you thought, well, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And those guys are going to cook.
Yes.
And he won't, if he's smart, he just won't meddle.
Yeah.
He meddles and he doesn't know what he's doing. So he's destroying chances to win games because he literally has no idea how to coach and he doesn't know how to do it operationally. He doesn't know when to take a timeout. He doesn't know when to play possession ball. And if he would have just maybe that first year, just let those guys, coach, maybe he'd have a shot. But he insists on pretending like he goes on 60 Minutes and says, I'm the best football coach in America. And he insists on trying to be a football coach, not just a program, figurehead and
CEO,
recruiter. And that's why it's gone so terribly wrong. And now I think what do you call it? The shine is, worn off, so to speak. And they just don't have enough talent to overcome a deficit in coaching like that.
Have you done the handicap on the season win total? 4.5, 5.5?
I haven't.
I feel safe going under.
He was very disappointed in that answer.
No. I was just thinking, I feel safe in going under. I don't think they're going to be that much more competitive in the Big 12. I do have faith in the fact that Brennan Marion is there. He was the former UNLV OC. I think he's a pretty smart guy. He's good to have around for a couple of years. They have a big prospect quarterback.
Okay.
So I think he can turn him into something. But yeah, I mean, Deion, this should be Deion CEO. And if you want to coach the defense, you don't need to touch the offense at all.
How much confidence do you have in a quarterback that admitted, I didn't know how to watch film? We didn't watch film. We just played street ball. Yeah, great. Now that you're going to learn that, but you're going to learn that in year two going into your second year playing in college football. That worries me. Like, you think he's just now all of a sudden going to be studying like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning? He's going to get it? Yeah. Or do you think he will fall back to his habits and his muscle memory and just go out there and street ball?
I think there's two stories here. I think he will learn how to do it with Marion, and they're going to run an innovative offense that will be difficult to stop if they execute. But it did say something about Deion and the discipline a year ago that we were only concerned about ourselves. We didn't watch the defensive film and the street ball comment. The other thing that
hold on real quick.
No, I got to also throw out the other thing that concerns me is that if you're the CEO of your franchise, you're a quarterback. Listen, I'm in the media. You say stuff like that. I mean, I'm eating it up. That's great.
Oh yeah.
He should know now as the CEO of the franchise. You don't even say something like that in casual conversation. I don't even know why he would say it.
No, he just didn't know any better. But
he should know better.
But let me ask you this question: Why do you think it was like that last year? Knowing now everybody hates Pat Shurmur, but Pat Shurmur was the offensive coordinator. He was an NFL head coach, longtime NFL coordinator. Do you think he wasn't obsessive about trying to get kids to watch tape? You think he was like, we're not going to watch tape?
Are you suggesting that Deion doesn't have his coaches back?
Well, I'm asking.
That they would just, well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that the kids just like, they follow by lead. And if Deion's not working his ass off, then they're like, why do I have to?
Right. So that's what's
that worries me. Yeah. But I think Marion will straighten him out to a certain point. They did try to get better on the D-line in the portal. They tried to work at it. But it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of money. And if you don't have a lot of money, then it takes the work and the personnel judgment. I don't know if they have personnel people. I don't know. I don't trust that Deion is looking at film and analyzing every transfer.
And everybody says that this can't be true because of this contract he has, and it's just too massive a payout or a buyout. If they win in 2 or 3 games, which I think is where they're going to wind up, I don't know how you bring Deion back. I don't know why he would want to come back. He's making a fool out of himself. Why is he doing this?
Judge Dan is with us. Ego, but you're right. He's not going to enjoy losing. Alex White is the company. On Sports Talk Radio, how much of a place does Colorado have now versus the Broncos? Because now the Broncos are good with expectations. I mean, I know every station there, it's insane on Broncos talk. But without CU winning, are there people just like, who cares? Don't even talk about them.
Yeah, they're a non-factor. Even with the Deion stuff, we would mix some stuff in. But I mean, our research shows nobody cares. They don't care. I was going to ask
the freaking Broncos.
Yeah, because I've thought about it, like the NIL conversation. Yeah. I almost asked Justin about it on the air, but I didn't want to insult, UNLV. But one of the things I liked about the new system is anybody can go, you know what? I want to buy a team or I want to buy a player. Mm-hmm. So like my law firm, Jacobs Law, what if I wanted to sponsor the quarterback and have him do commercials or whatever? And there's that excitement and things like that. And you could flip the script that way, but there's so little interest. Like it would get me nothing so the way NIL is supposed to go is, I'm getting something for my money. I'm not just paying you to come play football,
right?
But the interest is so little. I would get no return on my investment, hiring some college player from the University of Colorado or CSU or, Air Force or whatever. There's no ROI. So that, that's kind of the issue. There's no interest in college football in Colorado, which sucks because I love college football. I love it. And I like talking about it. And for a long time, I like talking about the way Deion was doing some good, cool things and making them relevant. But being relevant, one, I don't even know if they're relevant anymore. But being relevant and being terrible, I don't know. Do you want that? You're a fan? You like the Rutgers is, relevant but terrible?
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still optimistic. I still think they can, if they're having good seasons, I still think they can win 8, 9, maybe in a crazy season, 10 games, but people don't, they don't want to hear that. So, but I believe.
Go Scarlet Knights.
Well, we'll see what happens. It has the NIL era and transfer portal has helped UNLV. It was a program that, you were there.
Yeah.
She went to school there. She was a cheerleader coach. You saw a lot of bad football. I covered bad football. Yes. You saw a lot of seasons where it's like, hey, can they just make a bowl game?
Oh yeah.
And now for a month we've talked about, can they make the CFP? Like, and if they go 8-4, like 8-4 sucks. Wait a second. Wait, 4 years ago that would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
So at some places it has helped. Okay, Broncos football. I love talking about stadiums. We opened the show mentioning the Raiders have got to get more of their fans to not sell their tickets, but they set themselves up. One, they're not good. Two, they sold PSLs. A lot of the stadium is $20,000 a seat up to $75,000. The Broncos are building a new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, why are they building a new stadium? Is the stadium they have now is 27 years old? Sucks. Bad area.
Well, it's just it's a revenue thing. They're losing out on so much revenue because when they built that stadium, and the stadium still feels new. It's not a garbage stadium, but when they built it, the Pat Bowlen, who owned the team at the time, didn't have the money. And so he had to have taxpayer money, he had to threaten to leave, or actually he threatened to sell the team to somebody that would move it to Las Vegas or wherever. And so they just barely had enough money to build a stadium. And they weren't able to build out all the things that you want at the stadium to get revenue, and then all the things that attached to it. Like the new stadium is going to be a village. There's going to be 2 different residential neighborhoods. There's going to be office space. There's going to be retail districts. They're going to make huge money on the Bronco Village that they're going to build. And why would you leave that money sitting there when you have the stadium that it's just mediocre? And they can knock that down and build condos.
I was treated to a ride share with, I sent you his card. He was like the Bronco Messiah or something. I don't know who that was.
Oh yeah.
He was like massive sports fan, massive Bronco fan. And we just so happened to be on one of the highways. We look out to the left and there's whatever they're, Mile High Stadium
Power
now,
Field.
Right? Invesco, whatever, 18 sponsors, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, right over there. And then he pointed the other way. He's like, that's where the stadium's going. And it's pretty close, right?
Yeah, not too far.
It's just like a bigger tract of land.
It's a bigger tract of land. It's downtown. It's closer to downtown, but it gives them the opportunity to cash out and make it, like I said, Bronco Country Village, where they get to cash in on all the development rights.
Are you guys all okay with, or fans okay with them making at least $350 million up front with PSLs?
Yeah, I have a big problem with the PSLs because what they're going to inevitably do is just give a big middle finger. By the way, he's the richest owner in the National Football League, at least, right? But here's the sickening thing. I didn't realize this was going on in this country. When he bought the team, he was the head guy, the head Moldmark guy, and his kids are in it too. He was worth like, $60 billion. And he's like, he's the richest guy in sports. They bought the team 3-4 years ago. You know what he's worth now? $150 or $60 billion. So you got to tell me you got to stick it to the fans that have, most of them have been there from the 60s, the 1960s, thick and thin, one of the most loyal fan bases in sports, and you have to give them the middle finger and say, "F you, I need money to build a new stadium." And their only defense is, they used it last week, was, pretty much every stadium does this now. But the interesting thing is they don't all sell out. I thought I did a little analysis on the show. There are many teams, even good teams, they don't even sell out season tickets. You can go to, so the Niners had a nice new stadium with PSLs, right? Yeah, you can go buy a PSL right now off the street.
Right.
What is it? It's embarrassing. Oh, is it the Titans? They have like 300 monthly, $30 a month to get your PSL. So not all, of course, the Cowboys, right? Of course, they're going to sell out, but not all these teams. It's a slam dunk that you sell out PSLs. I'm going to tell you, there may be a rude awakening for the Broncos, because I think you might be getting to the point where enough is enough, and who knows where the economy is going to be in 5 years,
right?
And because you either got to pay up front, or the only option is they'll basically let you put it on a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put $20,000 on a credit card to buy your football tickets on top of the tickets you have to pay for? It's a big ask.
Fans better do some research. That's good research, Doesn't mean you're going to get shut out because you don't buy a PSL. But as an example, the Jets and Giants had like a 25-year waiting list, and the waiting list got dwindled down to nothing. The Jets, believe it or not, had a little bit of a waiting list. There's no waiting list.
Yeah.
I don't think they sold out the PSLs. I know longtime Jets fans who were like, I'm not buying a PSL.
Well,
$15,000 for a seat for the right to buy a seat or buy tickets. Get out of here.
I remember Real Sports did a story on PSLs, and they were talking. I don't remember who it was, but talking to some billionaire who had suites for the Jets. And he's like, dude, they want like it was some obscene amount. It was at least 6 figures, whatever. He's like, it's not like I don't have the money. It's the principle.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Yep.
And so at some point you just have to go, well, I don't know. Like, do I want to do this? And so we'll see.
I don't think Denver's going to suffer what the Raiders suffer from, which is they bought the PSLs, they sell the tickets, and now we've got, at best a 60-40 home field advantage, and a lot of times it's 40-60.
But you're putting it's like you brought up, you're really putting your fans in a position where they kind of have to sell a lot of their tickets.
Yeah, to make some of it back.
They
to
got to
justify it financially.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of non-Broncos topics, and I started this earlier in the week. I've watched this Tony Romo OWI arrest, and then this public persecution of him on many fronts. He sucks as a broadcaster, and people are unhappy that he still has a job, and he's making $18 million a year. I'm trying to figure out why there are so many Romo detractors. Are you guys part of the group? You think he sucks, and are you disturbed by the fact that he makes $18 million a year?
I'm a little bothered by the fact that he makes that much. I actually, for me, when he first started, he was amazing. I think he got a little lazy, and I think he's come back in the fold a little bit. I actually don't mind him. Sometimes I really like Tony Romo as a broadcaster. Seems like a nice dude. It's insane. The mathematics bother me because ultimately we're the ones that get screwed. Right now we have to watch TV games on Peacock and Amazon Prime and Netflix and all this stuff. So Tony Romo can get $18 million a year.
You really couldn't? Come on now.
What?
Do you really believe that they're justifying? We have $18 million and $20 million Nance on the broadcast. No.
What I do believe is
we got to squeeze more money out of the consumer. They were going to do that anyway.
Well, my problem is they've allowed it to become something that we used to love, sports. And now it's just this big business thing where ultimately it was like Mark Cuban said, they're getting hoggy and hogs get slaughtered. At some point, there's so why is Tony Romo worth $18 million? Now, the rest aside, I'm not saying, hey, this guy should get fired because he had one bad night or whatever. He got pulled over, for drinking on the golf course. I'm not condoning it. But if everybody in America lost their means of making a living for having too many, after playing golf, whatever. Now Mark Sanchez, I don't think he should keep his job, right? That's a different
Innocent
story.
until proven guilty. I checked out the bar. We talked to the bartender. I heard the side of the story.
Oh, Sanchez is innocent.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't say that part. I was joking about the innocent. Well, I mean, that is our system. And it still hasn't gone to court yet. No, the story was not good.
Oh, for Sanchez.
No, it was not good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was joking about it. I heard the story.
Well, and we have a very similar situation. One of the Broncos, they just paid one of their up and coming pass rushers a lot of money, and he got into a tiff with it was kind of mutual with his longtime girlfriend. And there were so many people. There was a column in the Denver Post last week about how the new owners who have enjoyed a nice honeymoon period in Denver have sacrificed their credibility by not just cutting this guy. And I was saying, I've looked at the file. When all this stuff comes out, you may feel differently than this rush to judgment on this situation. But nobody wants to hear that. Everybody's like, oh, he's guilty. He's a bad guy. He did it to himself. And he should be punished. Might as well just take him out and shoot him. Right. There's no one. So they don't. Like in the article, it goes, with all due respect to innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Well, that's like saying, well, with all due respect, your wife could, lose a few pounds. Yeah. Like, no, you can't say that.
That's our system.
Yeah. All due respect.
And I don't think it's going to mean anything to anyone. I don't know who Romo's attorney is. Romo is I'm sure has a great attorney, and he's going to get off with nothing.
Not nothing, but yeah. He's not going to prison.
No.
Right? Like nobody goes to prison for a first-time DUI. Nobody does. It doesn't have, you may serve 2 days. Right. Most in Colorado, it's a mandatory 10-day sentence that is always suspended on your first time. It gets pled down to, DWI, and then that's it. And then it gets progressively more serious as you show that you have a problem. And so I do have a problem with, I don't want to say cancel culture, things like that, but we do have this thirst for destroying people that make
Yes.
mistakes.
Yes.
And we all make mistakes.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
That's a good judge right there. Where are you on?
You want to know my
Romo?
role real quick? If I see you, I'm very gracious. If I see you a second time, we're going to have a problem.
Ooh, that was stern.
Yeah.
That scared me a little bit.
Well,
Where are you on the Romo hatred?
I like Romo as a commentator, and I mean, I feel for him if he does get cut, and I think it's more. And I kind of talked about it with Willie last week. It kind of stinks because a lot of people have been calling for his job, right, and saying he got lazy and didn't put in the work. So, could this be used as an excuse for them to cut ties with him? Which
I would, because I think
that-
he's a bad investment at that.
I think
that
there's
money.
a lot more to the story. I will say this, though, to your point about a minute ago about destroying people. I'll ask everyone, like, who are all these great broadcasters you think are missing out on being the lead guy?
Yeah.
Because it ain't J.J. Watt.
The guy from the Spurs.
Who the hell's that?
Oh, you remember our group text? Our buddy Chad was very upset.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's another great legal
So the
story we can get to.
broadcaster from the Spurs
Yeah.
hooked up with, had an affair with one of the players' sister,
saw that.
and he got whacked. He got caught. And
But he was married.
I don't know if he was married. He was cheating on his girlfriend.
Oh, cheating on his
Yeah,
girlfriend.
all right, and we have a mutual buddy that's like, I can't believe it. He got fired for sex. Like, well, maybe the Spurs don't want him doing that. You know what I mean? And so
I guess.
Yeah.
The other thing that annoys the hell out of me with the Romo story is we've now got the reintroduction of media critics, people who cover the media. And now, because we have podcasts, they do podcasts. So, as an example, there's one guy in New York, I watch him do his podcast, and I'm like, dude, you're awful. I almost dropped an F-bomb. He sucks. You're the one judging if Tony Romo's lost it?
Oh,
Like, you're not good.
Yeah.
But you're taking money to do a podcast. You stink.
Yeah. No, but
Everyone's going to judge everyone else. You're like, you're not even good at it. I don't know why I have such a whatever. I was going to say a hard something for
Yes.
Romo, but no,
Yeah.
I like to defend the downtrodden.
yeah, to me,
I like Romo. I okay. Here's the other part of it. I'm not saying I've done it at a high level, but like working games ain't that easy. It's not as easy as people think. Like people who are really good are really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I like him. Other than, 18 million I think is too much, but that's none of my business either, right? Really, it's not.
Well, shame on you because you're in the talent business and you should always back fellow broadcasters.
Well, I am backing him to the extent that I'm like, hey, man, like this is not a trip to the gallows. This is not a hanging offense, as they used to say back in the old days.
Foo Fighters tickets. We got a show coming up with Queens. Oh, I just lost the freaking prompt there. Queens of the Stone Age coming up at Allegiant Stadium. Coming up on, I'm going to say coming up 25 times. September 26th. Caller 7 right now. 2 tickets to see Foo Fighters. 2 tickets. Caller 7 364-1100.
We're here with Chuck, founder of Dollar Loan Center. Why is it so important for Nevada customers to deal with a licensed, regulated, direct lender?
A lot of lenders may look legit, but they are not, especially online. Borrowers need to be careful to deal with lenders who are licensed and regulated by the state of Nevada, who really lend their own money and aren't just lead generators.
And Dollar Loan Center is a direct lender?
Yeah, we've been around 28 years, Nevada licensed, and I actually lend my own money. We are extremely transparent, fair, and always guarantee to beat the rate of our competition. And our customers' Bill of Rights is in writing at don'tbebroke.com, and we never charge to apply.
Founded in Las Vegas over 28 years ago, DLC lends up to $5,000 in minutes. Stop by any of our 25 nearby locations to meet our real friendly staff. You can also apply over the phone or online at don'tbebroke.com.
Subject to approval, limitations may apply. See website for details.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavor Pilsner style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
Good morning.
Vegas is built on service.
Studio lights on, please.
3 shifts a day.
All right, let's do this.
As your morning begins,
It's showtime.
we
have a lot to talk about live on the program for the next 3 hours.
to do our part, News 3 Today delivers Las Vegas stories that shape your community.
Just in some breaking news on the economic front.
So, whether it's late breaking,
news,
bumper to bumper,
Avoid using flamingo.
or clearing skies,
No showers anticipated.
it's News 3 Today.
Raider Nation football's back. Join us August 11th at Allegiant Stadium
for Raiders Open Practice. See the team in action and get ready for kickoff. Tickets are just $5, benefiting the Raiders Foundation. Get yours now at Raiders.com/open practice.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. A lot of lawyers promise a lot of things. No fee unless we win. The consults are free. Of course they offer that stuff. All lawyers do that. But will they promise not to take more money than you at the end of your case? No. When you call me, that answer's yes. I'll never take more money than you, and I put it in writing.
Call 728-5500 or go to paulpowell.com.
I really can help.
Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of back pain relief with just one dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sun up to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-345-2789, 800-345-2789, or biglou.com.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Zip Zap Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the Valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, Zip Zap is your one-stop shop, offering smog tests, oil changes, detailing, bodywork, and engine and transmission rebuilding. Plus, Zip Zap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary. Zip Zap Auto on Cheyenne and North Durango Drive, and online at zipzapauto.com.
Cofield and Company presents Grab Bag on ESPN Las Vegas.
Stick your hand in there, Dave.
All right, we got Judge Dan, one of our Denver insiders who works for the Fan. Alex is here. We close out last couple minutes. What's your hypothetical?
All right, so Jonathan Cooper in Denver. It's very Tiger Woods-ish. His girlfriend sees him texting another girl. She grabs the phone, starts screaming at him, throws it across the room, won't let him leave. They get into, and they get, you know, they have a dust up. Cops show up. All right. So there's that. She says he picked her up off the ground and choked her. Okay. So I'm only going to tell you half the story right now. And then he gets arrested a second time. They both get arrested. He gets arrested a second time for violating what they said was violating the restraining order. Okay. That's when everybody's like, he's gone. He's got to go. 2 arrests, blah, blah, blah. What do you guys think about that? A Broncos player doing something like
that? It was quite the setup. I don't know enough of the details to pass judgment on it. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Okay.
Agreed. Yeah.
You don't like it? Right?
Yeah. I would like to hear more details.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, let's add a couple of details because he was basically indicted. We talk about a presumption of innocence, and everybody's like, I don't care what they say. You shouldn't do that, and you're guilty. You shouldn't lay your hands on a woman, whatever, blah, 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 which we all agree. You shouldn't be laying your hands on a woman. But what if you found out that the cops responded and she was a lunatic and he was very calm and she said something happened and he said something happened, right, and they could verify immediately what he was saying was true, and they said, ma'am, we're sorry that but what you're saying, it doesn't match up with the evidence. There's no way he could have done what you say he did.
Right.
And as to the restraining orders, she got the more serious restraining order.
Oh, wow.
She had 5 conditions on her restraining order.
15 seconds.
Right. He only had 1, which was just he couldn't harass her.
Jeez.
Do you feel different?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why we didn't overreact and said, we need more details, Dan. You're setting us up.
Presumption
I knew
of
what you were
innocence.
doing. Presumption of innocence, yes. Good advice. Don't rush to judgment, right?
Yes.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Alex.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island is the ultimate spot to catch all your favorite sports on huge video walls. 55 plus TVs offering ideal views from every seat.